Osrc News at 7. Federal government slashes police budget for 2023 as Inspector General worries over implication on national security. Arewa Consultative Forum warns politicians against hate speeches as campaigns for general elections continue. 6 die Istanbul explosion. Good evening and thanks for joining me on the news. My name is Remy Allen. A student of 13th International Secondary School, Akure, Ademola Benjamin, was the cynosure of all eyes at the Spelling Bee competition for schools organized by 13th International School, Akure, Ondo State. The competition held at the Akure premises is the maiden edition of the 13th Inter-School Spelling Bee competition. Oluwaseye Akinwalere has more.
The maiden edition of the Spelling Bee competition had as its theme Unlocked Letters of the Champions. The competition drew together Maybest Academy, Oyemekun Grammar School, Deeper Life High School, St. Louis Girls Grammar School, amongst others, totaling 36 spellers who had to vie for the first position. While giving his opening speech, the proprietor of Preston International School, Mr. Tony Ajayi, said the event hopes to give the students a platform to showcase their talents and to expose them to new words.
I think the purpose of it has been achieved because we can see happy faces, children from and teachers from various schools coming together, celebrating education and also having fun at the same time. And we've learned a lot even today. I think going forward we're going to enhance even the regions to come in the future.
One of the judges, Mr. Friday Adodo, lauded the competition as it will help mold the students.
They should study from time to time. It's very, very important because I remember when I was growing up too, I used to read the dictionary a lot. So they should read whatever is readable. You know, that's one of the ways to build yourself instead of just depending solely on your teacher or teachers. Right? They should read the dictionary from time to time. It's very, very important and look for how to proper articulation of words.
After rounds of contest, Ademola Benjamin emerged as a winner from Telnet Secondary School, while Rotimi Blessing from Christ the Redeemer's International Secondary School clinched the first runner-up position, and Mafimi Shebitinuade from Telnet Secondary School took the second runner-up position. The finalists thereafter were given cash prizes as they detailed their experiences towards the preparation of the Spelling Bee.
Actually, I've been preparing for months with my English class. They also when I that they were going to do competition. So I read overnight, did the leaf. That's what I'm here to do.
I'm very happy and I felt that all my labors were not in vain. I feel overwhelmed and flabbergasted. It was not easy coming this far because our school did several qualifying processes, so it was hard, but it was worth it.
The event featured verbal poetry, drama troupe presentation, presentation of certificates, and awards. Oluwaseye Akinwalere, Osrc News.
The federal government has slashed the budget proposed by the Nigeria Police Force by almost 93 billion naira, a situation which the security outfit has warned may frustrate its efforts at effectively tackling the growing insecurity in the country. The police blamed the reduction largely on the envelope budgeting system of the government and urged the National Assembly to exclude the police force from it. In a presentation made to the National Assembly, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, decried the slashing of outfits' proposed budget by the Budget Office of the Federation, warning of its impact on the security outfit and its consequence for the country. Baba made this known to the Senate and House of Representatives Committee on Police Affairs behind closed doors while defending the proposed budget of the Nigeria Police Force in the 2023 Appropriation Bill. Still on security, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, has assured the nation that the Nigerian Army will not fail Nigerians in delivering on its constitutional mandate to defend the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the nation, as well as provide support to civil authority in mitigating threats to national security. General Yahya gave the assurance at Kotangura while addressing troops at the firepower demonstration phase of exercise Mugu Bugu. Elucidating further, the Army disclosed that the exercise is the first of its kind, where all combat armies and combat support arms of the Nigerian Army training schools come together for a final joint training exercise. Yahya pointed out that training is key to professionalism, describing it as one of the pillars of his philosophy of command. A 7-year-old Almajiri puppy has been injured after a suspected explosive device detonated at Manyenawa Forest area of Damaturu, the Yobe capital. The incident is said to have occurred around 9 o'clock this morning when a heavy sound was heard in the area, causing the residents to scamper for safety. However, there was no reported loss of life. Although the cause of the incident is still unclear, the police public relations officer in Yobe State, Dungos Abdul Karim, said the anti-bomb squad has been dispatched to the scene of the incident. Meanwhile, the victim has since been rushed to a specialist hospital in Damaturu for medication. The Pan-Northern Socio-Political Organization Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF, has cautioned politicians against the use of hate speech and thuggery against opponents ahead of the 2023 general election. According to the ACF, the use of hate speech, threats, as well as thuggery is a recipe for violence in the country, warning politicians to halt their usage of vulgar language and violence for the purpose of electioneering. The group's Secretary General Malam Murtala Aliyu said this in a statement released to journalists in Kaduna earlier today. The ACF said hate speech, for whatever reason, covered many forms of expression, but they incite hatred, violence, and discrimination against an individual or group of people. In a related development, Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has warned traditional rulers in the state against partisan politics, saying such will be an aberration and desecration of the traditional institution. The governor handed down the warning in his speech shortly after he presented the staff of office to the 12th Emir of Katagum Emirate in the Katagum local government area of Bauchi State, Alhaji Umar Farooq II. He stressed the need for traditional rulers across the state to mobilize their people to support programs such as increased food production, internal revenue generation, and enrollment and retention of children in schools in the state. Mohammed said he had been receiving reports that some traditional rulers in the state were involved in shoddy practices with the grazing, forest reserves, and cattle routes in the state, and warned that he would not spare anyone found wanting. Not leaving political stories yet, Director General of Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, has said that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's move to reconcile with Governor Iyeso Wike's group in the People's Democratic Party is belated. Okechukwu said this when he responded to a statement by Atiku that the all-ruling Progressive Congress was a contraction of Bola Tinubu's Action Congress of Nigeria and President Buhari's Congress for Progressive Change, which, according to him, would collapse after 2023 general election, and he would reconcile with the WKG Group 5. In a statement in Abuja, however, the APC chieftain described the assertion made by the PDP presidential candidate as hallucination and medicine after death. According to him, it was ridiculous for the former vice president to think that the plank of justice of rotation convention mattered to PDP's constitution and the federal character principle of the 1999 Constitution would be easily swept under the carpet. Away from politics, the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, has said most Nigerian roads and highways considered as death traps over the years have expired and need constant maintenance. FEMA's Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Nuruddin Rafindadi, disclosed this in Kaduna at a lecture organized by the Kaduna branch of the Nigeria Society of Engineers. The FEMA boss, while painting the bad state of the nation's roads and highways, noted that some of the roads were built to last for a certain number of years but had regrettably exceeded their lifespans. You are watching Osrc News at 7. We'll take a short break. We'll be back shortly. Please do stay tuned. Thanks for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook, OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. Moving ahead, no one wants his parents to leave this world, notwithstanding the age. But as humans have no control over death, as an inevitable end, bidding them farewell always attracts friends, family members, as well as all that can give support during the funeral rites. In this report, Osrc tells the story of how prominent Nigerians rallied around the successful children of Mama, Lady Evangelist Grace Akeredolu, at her burial events in Owo.
They all came from far and near to be part of an event that brought together cream de la cream of prominent Nigerians. It was the burial events of the mother of Ondo State Governor, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, a senior advocate of Nigeria. Every guest wanted his presence registered, not only because such event provides an avenue for whining and dining, but also to give support to our loved one. The traffic in the ancient town signaled the volume of personalities in attendance. Accessing St. Andrew's Anglican Church venue of the funeral service at Imola was a Herculean task, irrespective of one's personality.
Mama, Lady Evangelist Grace Bosede Akeredolu is survived by prominent sons and daughters who have prided themselves as Omaluka in our kingdom in Ondo State, Southwest Nigeria. People are not only here today because of these prominent sons and daughters, they are here because of the personality and the existence of Governor of Ondo State, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. He is also former President of the Nigerian Bar Association, and that is why the environment here is full of personalities from all walks of life to identify with this gentleman.
The gathering attracted Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, immediate past governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi and wife, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, former Governor Olusegun Mimiko of Ondo State, and others.
He's a personal friend. He's also a colleague. So I'm here to honor him and to honor his mother on this occasion.
A lot of people are here because of whom Mama, the kind of children Mama raised. Mama has raised great men and women. And so, you know, this is just a fruit of her labor. You know, she raised the governor, she raised many doctors, she raised many lawyers, and now you can see many people coming together to celebrate her life.
She lived a fulfilled life, a life that is worthy of emulating.
Shortly after the funeral service, the family and their guests proceeded to Maida's resort on Ikare Road for the reception.
I identify with him, and the last phase right now is the celebration, the dancing and rejoicing that we survived a woman who lived well while she was here on earth. The thanksgiving and the rejoicing is for the fact that the woman represents a mother indeed.
Arákùnrin Akérédolú, who is a good example of how a leader should be. He never forgets his friends, and so his friends have not forgotten him. We're here not because he's a governor, but because he's been a good man all his life, and he still remains a good man as the executive governor of Ondo State.
For one to survive his or her aged parents is a thing of joy. That the one is alive to give a befitting burial to one's late mom. It's a real privilege. We give God all the glory.
Osrc gathered that the family had not only been conscious of Mama Grace Bosede Akeredolu's last day, as measures were also taken to ensure that they were good children, a good mother who lived a fulfilled life. Adetola, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, activities for the burial of Mama Grace Akeredolu, mother of the Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, have been rounded off with a special Thanksgiving service. The Akeredolus gathered at the Cathedral Church of St. Andrews, Imolawo, to thank God for the success of the ceremonies. The Bishop of our Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Stephen Fagbemi, in his sermon entitled Prayer for Safety, said it is only God that preserves his people in the midst of troubles and challenges in life. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole reports that the Akeredolus were joined by the Deputy Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, and other members of the state executive.
It was time for the Akeredolu family to gather before God for a special Thanksgiving service, marking the conclusion of burial arrangements for Mama Grace Akeredolu, mother of the Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. Members of the Ondo State Executive Council, led by the Deputy Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, and wife of the governor, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, were joined by well-wishers to thank and praise God at the Cathedral Church of St. Andrews, Imola Owo. In his sermon entitled Prayer for Safety, the Bishop of our Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Stephen Fagbemi, noted that it is only God that preserves and safeguards people in the midst of troubles. He admonished Christians to be resolute and have absolute trust in God, stressing that God will not cast away his people.
Preserve me, O God. Why? Because it is in you that I take refuge. So if you are to walk with God, you need to be a man or woman of prayer. In prayer, to God.
High point of the event was when the Akeredolus were joined by the congregation for the special Thanksgiving. Bishop Fagbemi prayed for the Akeredolu family and also appreciated the family's support for the Church of God. From Owo, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Christians have been admonished to always give thanks to God. It is the only means to get more blessings from Him. The district superintendent of Christ Apostolic Church, Orioke Anu in Akure, Pastor Oluwatoyin Oladamilare spoke at the 22nd Annual Convention and Thanksgiving Service of Vineyard of Miracles Ministry in Akure, the Ondo State capital. Osrc Zimo Ebieme was there.
The annual convention and Thanksgiving service of Vineyard of Miracle Ministry attracted dignitaries from far and near. The convention, with the theme, "For His mercies endureth forever," was to enable Christians to be more dedicated and acquit themselves with the words of God. In his sermon, Pastor in charge of Christ Apostolic Church, Orioke Anu, Pastor Oluwatoyin Oladamilare, urged Christians to always obey the commandments of God. The General Overseer of the Church, Prophetess Similoluwa Ayenigbara, and the Pastor in charge of the ministry, Pastor Oluwatoyosi Ayenigbara, thanked God for making the day a reality.
The team came by the directive of Holy Spirit to give glory to God. That's why the Father series of things is happening in our vicinity in Ondo State in Nigeria, but the glory of God sustain us. The mercy of God sustain us to this moment. That's why we are alive.
The chairman, Anniversary Planning Committee, Evangelist Taiwo Fashua, also thanked God for the success of the event.
We pray that God make everything to be successful, and we know that God answers our prayer. We thank God for that.
The church 22nd anniversary also featured thanksgiving and rendition of songs in appreciation of God's protection. Prayers were also offered for Nigeria, Ondo State, and the church.
On the foreign scene, at least 6 people have been killed and 53 others have been injured in an explosion in a busy area of central Istanbul. The Turkish city's governor, Ali Yarıkaya, said the blast happened at 4:20 p.m. on a shopping street in the Taksim Square area. It is unclear what caused the explosion, which appears to have been captured on numerous videos circulating on social media. Emergency services are at the scene of the incident as at the time of filing the reports. And moving to sports, athletes from Ondo State have begun open campaign ahead of the 21st National Sports Festival in Asaba Delta State later this month. The performers will then be called into close camping from Monday, the 13th for a more intensive preparation. Akintunde Akishimola reports that the state badminton team have stepped up their arrangements for a successful outing.
The National Sports Festival is a show of strength among the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. It began with the sole aim of promoting unity amongst the ethnic groups in the country after the Civil War. The event, which made its debut 49 years ago, is holding its 21st edition in Asaba, Delta State. Having participated in all sports festivals since 1977, Ondo State is gearing up for another showing, this time in the Delta State capital.
We're having two training programs. We're having open camp and closed camp training. So what we are doing presently is the open camp training. And we have started that over almost 2 months now. So we are very sure that with the level of preparation that we have, Ondo State is going to do well at the games. We have about 20 sports that we are going to fixture for this game.
Unlike the past decades, when athletes were camped for months, Ondo State representatives will be in close camp for just 2 weeks.
In these 20 sports, we have 129 athletes. So all of them are preparing. We have some in Akure, we have in the Riverine area, we have in Ibokoda, the Kenu and Kayak athletes. They are training at Ibokoda, and some of them are also preparing at Futa.
Even before the formal invitation to camp, the state badminton players had begun close camping to ensure a successful outing at the games.
Why badminton is in camp? Because they are young athletes and we need to put them together as early as possible. Because they are younger and a lot of them, this is their first time of going to festival. And it's going to be a major and open wide tournament. So we have to prepare their mind beyond the level of the tournament they have been going this year. So and the association felt that the only way we can help them is to bring them earlier together before the state camping.
Reflecting on the rigorous training in camp, male singles player Sunday said he is poised for an impressive moment in Asaba.
To play very well, to win the gold medal, to play better in that tournament.
The 21st National Sports Festival Fiesta is scheduled to run from November the 28th to December the 10th.
To end Osrc News at 7, here again are some of the major stories. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has raised concerns over the reduction of police budget in the 2023 appropriation estimates. The police chief observed that this will spell doom for efforts at improving national security. As the 2023 general election draw near, the Pan-Northern Socio-Political Organization, Arewa Consultative Forum, has urged politicians to eschew campaigns of calumny and hate speeches. From the foreign scene, at least 6 persons have died, while over 50 others sustained injuries in a blast that occurred earlier today in Istanbul. And with that, we conclude the news at 7. Thanks so much for watching. Good evening.